Hi, boys and girls. Here is your chapter for the day. It's chapter 6, and it's called Summer Days. Did you know that we only have a couple more weeks left before it's summer vacation? How exciting! No more school. I bet you're excited for that. Let's see what chapter 6 is about. Summer Days. The early summer days on the barn are the happiest and fairest days of the year. Flowers bloom and make the air sweet, and then they fade. Apple blossoms come with the lilacs, and the bees visit around among the apple trees. The days grow warm and soft. School ends, and children have time to play and to fish in their fish for trouts in the brook. Avery often brought a trout home in his pocket, warm and stiff and ready for supper. Now that school was over, Fern visited the farm almost every day to sit quietly on her stool. The animals treated her as an equal. The sheep lay calmly at her feet. Around the 1st of July, the work horses were hitched to the moving machine, and Mr. Zuckerman climbed into the seat and drove into the field. All morning, you could hear the rattle of the machine as it went round and round, while the tall grass grew down behind the cutter bar in long green sweats. Next day, if there was no thunder shower, all hands would help rake and pitch the load, and the hay would be hauled to the barn in the high hay wagon, with Fern and Avery riding on the top. Then the hay would be hoisted sweet and warm into the big loft until the whole barn seemed like a wonderful bed of timothy and clover. It was fine to jump in and perfect to hide it, and sometimes Avery would find a little grass snake in the hay and would add it to all the other things in his pocket. Early summer days are a jubilee time for birds. In the fields, around the house, in the barns, in the woods, in the swamp, everywhere, love and songs and nests and eggs. From the edge of the woods the white sparrow calls, "Oh, Peabody, 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 Peabody," on an apple bough, and Phoebe tweeters and wags its tail and says, "Phoebe, Phoebe." The song sparrow who knows how brief and lovely life is. Sweet, 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 sweet. If you enter the barn, the sparrows swoop down from their nests and scold. "Cheeky, cheeky," they say. In early summer, there are plenty of things for a child to eat and drink and chuck and chew. Dandelion stems are full of milk. Clover heads are loaded with nectar and full of ice-cold drinks. Everywhere you look is life. Even the little ball of spirit in the weed stack, if you poke it apart, has a green worm inside of it. And the underside of the leaf of the potato vine are the bright orange eggs of the potato bug. It was on a day in early summer that the goose eggs hatched. There was an important event in the barn cellar. Fern was there, sitting on her stool when it happened. Except for the goose herself, Charlotte was the first to know that the goslings had at last arrived. The goose knew a day in advance that they were coming. She could hear their weak voices calling from inside the egg. She knew that they were desperately cramped in there and ready to anxiously break out of the shell. So she sat quite still and talked less than usual. When the first gosling poked his gray-green head through the goose's feathers and looked around, Charlotte spied it and made the announcement. "I am sure," she said, "that every one of us here will be grateful to learn that after 4 weeks of patient waiting, your babies have arrived. May I offer my sincere congratulations?" "Thank you, thank you, thank you," said the goose, nodding and bowing. "Thank you," said the gander. "Congratulations," shouted Wilbur. "How many goslings are there? I can only see one." "There are 7," said the goose. "Fine," said Charlotte. 7 is a lucky number. It was good management and hard work. At this point, Templeton showed his nose through the hiding place under Wilbur's trot. He glanced at Fern, then then crept cautiously towards the goose, keeping close to the wall. Everyone watched him, for he was not well liked nor trusted. "Look," he began in his sharp voice. "You say you have 7 goslings? There were 8 eggs. What happened to the other egg? Why didn't it hatch?" "It's a dud, I guess," said the goose. "What are you going to do with it?" continued Templeton, with his little round beady eyes. "You can have it," replied the goose. "Roll it away and add it to your nasty collection of yours." Templeton had a habit of picking up unusual objects around the farm and storing them in his home. He saved everything. "Certainly, certainly, certainly," said the gander. "You may have the egg, but I tell you one thing, Templeton. If I catch you poking around your ugly nose around my goslings, I'll give you the worst pounding rat ever took." And the gander opened his strong wings and beat the air to show them. He was strong and brave, but the truth is, both goose and gander were worried about Templeton, and with good reason. The rat had no morals, no conscience, no consideration, no decency, no milk of rodent kindness, no higher feeling, no friendliness, no nothing. He would kill a gosling if he could get away with it. The goose knew that. Everybody knew that. With her broad bill, the goose pushed the unhatched egg out of the nest, and the entire company watched it disgust while he rolled it away. Even Wilbur, who could eat almost anything, was appalled. "Imagine wanting a junky old rotten egg," he muttered. "A rat is a rat," said Charlotte. She laughed a tinkling little laugh. "But, my friends, if the ancient egg ever breaks, this barn will be untenable." "What does that mean?" asked Wilbur. "It means nobody will ever be able to live in here with the account of that smell. A rotten egg is a regular stink bomb." "I won't break it," snarled Templeton. "I know what I'm doing. I handle stuff like this all the time." He disappeared into the tunnel, pushing the goose egg in front of him. He pushed and nudged it till it succeedingly rolled into his thunder. That afternoon, when the wind had died down and the barnyard was quiet and warm, the gray goose led her 7 goslings off to the nest and to the world. Mr. Zuckerman spied them when he came for Wilbur's supper. "Well, hello there," he said, smiling all over. "Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 baby geese. Now, isn't that lovely?" And that's it for chapter 6. I'll show you the picture of nasty little Templeton rolling away the egg. Yeah, I hope he doesn't break it in the barn. That will be one stinky egg, right? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed chapter 6, Summer Days. Next chapter is called Bad News. I wonder what the bad news is. We will have to wait until tomorrow to find out the bad news. Bye, guys.